Hi, this is Colin Triplett with Mint Condition Fitness in Los Gatos, specializing in fitness over 48. And today we're talking about the shoulders and how to get better shoulder mobility. And if you've ever had a shoulder injury, you know just how important the arm is to doing everything you need to do in everyday life. But even if you just have shoulder mobility restrictions, you have a hard time getting your arm overhead maybe, or reaching back, those can also just make life a little bit harder and can end up leading to injuries if you don't take care of it. So how do we get better shoulder mobility? So we're just going to go through a three-step process today. It's not going to show you everything you can do, but at least it will give you an idea of how to approach getting better shoulder mobility. So the first thing we're going to do is some tissue work. We're going to use our foam roller here, and I'm just going to show you a few drills that most commonly will help you gain more shoulder mobility. And I will say, before you do any of this stuff, it's good to get a gauge of how you're doing. So you can just lift one arm up, other arm up, get a sense of how it feels, how far back it goes. Can you get your arm to your head, your arm to your ear, things like that. Where are you right now? And then after you do some of these moves, you'll be able to tell which ones help, which ones didn't. It depends on where you're tight. So what we're going to start with is just a lat roll. So we're going to roll down kind of the side and back. And this, I would say, is probably the biggest bang for your buck. If you can just do this one, you will see some good shoulder improvement. I would recommend that you start, so this is a white foam roller. It is a softer foam roller. Black ones will tend to be harder, at least in the ones that we get. Start lighter on this one because it can be pretty intense. So you're just going to go right kind of below the armpit, and we're just rolling up and back. Use a hand to help support if you need to, and you're just using your feet to push you up and back. And then when you get to a tight spot, you can just do a little bit of a circle. Circle one way, circle the other way. Now we're getting mobility through that range of motion. So you do that on both sides. You can then go to the back, cross the arms, or you can bring them together like this, and we're just rolling right down the back. And we really want to stay on the mid-back here. I wouldn't roll down to the low back. So that one can be good too. And you can just get a little bit onto the sides, getting a little bit more of the shoulder blades on either side. So if you get the lat, the mid-back, and the shoulder blades, you've kind of covered all your areas. There's definitely ways to get in deeper and into specific muscles, but if you haven't ever done this stuff before, those three are a good place to start. So now that we have a little bit of tissue work, now we want to use the range of motion that we just gained and do some joint mobility drills. The first one I'm actually going to start with is a upper back mobilizer, because if your upper back doesn't move very well, your shoulder won't either. If you have a rounded spine like this, you can see my arm can only go so high. My spine needs to be in a better position to go all the way up. So I'm just going to grab my leg, round my back, and then push it out into a really nice tall position. Round again, and push it up. And it is important to go both ways. Even though this is obviously not good posture, by opening up the vertebrae, you're then better able to lengthen them. So I'd start there, and then I would do something called a camshaft, or what we call a camshaft. I'll show you a couple different angles here. But basically, you don't want your arm out to the side, you want it slightly forward, and then you want to draw a nice big circle with your shoulder. And basically what we're doing here is just creating good mobility through your shoulder blade. Once we have upper back mobility, I need the shoulder blade to move well. And then, after that, I would do what's called a shoulder circle. Lots of different ways to do shoulder circles because your shoulder goes in a lot of different directions. The top one is where I would start because that's kind of what we're testing for, and that's full range of motion. But you may find that you have good range here, but you don't have good range across or back or an extension here. So you can do shoulder circles in all of those areas. So once we have the joint mobility drills down, then we're going to start doing some strength drills. So this might look like a push-up. Very simple, but what we're doing is we're taking all that movement that we've just gained and we're cementing it. Strength moves help to lock in range of motion. And so I can just do my simple push-ups here, down and up. Or if I want to get a little bit more, I guess, range of motion, what I might do, let's use my weights here. So if you take weights or handles or anything that elevates you a little bit, you can get better range of motion by holding on here and then going down low. So now when I'm at the bottom, I'm in more of an extension range there. So that can help to, again, gain and lock in your shoulder mobility. Another one that I really recommend is a row. So a 3-point row would look something like this, where I'm pulling back and letting it down. Don't worry so much if you touch. It's just about getting your shoulder back as far as you can. Or sorry, your elbow. Bring the elbow up, bring it down, up, down. What's interesting about something like this, where you're using one arm at a time, is that you may find that you do one side and you get really good range of motion from that. You do the other side and your range of motion either doesn't get better or it gets worse. So this is something that you can test as well. Remember we tested at the beginning? Well, if you're doing your rows, I would do a row on one side, test how you feel. Do your row on the other side, test how you feel. And if you feel like you actually got worse on one side but better on the other, just spend some time on the good side, because you may be working out in asymmetry. So we're going to do tissue work, then we're going to do joint mobility work, and then we're going to do strength work, and all the while we should be testing or retesting what's working, what's not, because specific things are going to work better for you than somebody else. So I hope that helps. Use that 3-step process and start getting better shoulder mobility. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.